Hello students, while watching the videos, please set the quality at 480p. Then the video will be very clear for you. So that's why I will show how to set the quality here. If you click on the screen, you will look at the three dots at the right corner. If you click on that one, okay, here the quality is already at 480. Suppose it is not at 480. If it is 144 or if it is in 240, video will not be clear for you. So that's why always set at 480. Then the video will become very clear for you. So hello students, in this video I am going to continue the chapter coordinate geometry. In the previous class, we have dealt with the problems on section formula, and in this video also I'm going to continue the problem section on section formula. Now look at the question number 10. It is like this. To conduct sports day activities in your rectangular shaped school ground ABCD, lines have been drawn with chalk powder at a distance of 1 meter each. So the distance between the two lines is 1 meter. Okay, look at here, unit is given meter, 1 meter. 100 flower pots have been placed at a distance of 1 meter from each other along AD. This is the direction AD. In this direction, flower pots are actually arranged. Totally there are 100 flower pots, and they are also the distance between two consecutive flower pots is 1 meter. Okay, so and it is in the direction of AD, and it is as shown in the figure 7.12. And Niharika is one of the student, okay, runs 1/4 the distance AD on the second line. So now look at here actually the participants running on the line, not in between the portion, means in the region between the lines. She is not running in the region between the two lines. Actually she is running on the line. Okay, she is running on the second line, and she covers 1/4 the distance of AD. So totally AD distance is equal to 100 meter, because there are 100 flower pots means. So totally it is actually how much total distance is equal to 100 meter. Okay, each so consecutive pots are actually the distance between the consecutive pots is actually 1 meter, and totally 100 pots are there means it will become how much? Totally 100 meter. In that 100 meter she has covered 1/4 of the distance. And the second line on the second line, and the next one is, and posts a green flag at that position, and Preet runs 1/5 the distance AD on the 8th line. Preet runs 1/5 the distance AD. Okay, means Preet runs less when compared to Niharika, because she has covered 1/4 and Preet covered 1/5. Okay, 1/5 of the 100 meter on the 8th line. Okay, and she actually Preet he is running in on the 8th line, on the line 8th line, and he posted a red flag. What is the distance between the both flags? So to find out the distance means actually we have to apply distance formula. I think you can understand here. And next thing is, if Rashmi has to post a blue flag exactly halfway between the line segment joining the two flags, where should she post her flag? So this is the question. Okay, so it is very important thing, the understanding of question, because it seems to be the problem is related to our daily life situation, and we have to apply the same thing. Okay, the procedure what we have followed till now, but the thing is we have to understand the formula. Now look at the solution. Now I have already written these words, position of Niharika and position of Preet. I have to define only. So if you define the position of Niharika and Preet, then only you can define what is the distance between these two members. Okay, these two students. After that we can find out what is the position of the third person, that is Rashmi. Okay, so now the position of Niharika, let it be n. Okay, let it be n. So now look at here. I think in the figure you can observe that actually it is like that Cartesian coordinate system. Look at here, in the x-axis it is actually named, the lines are named 1 2 3 4 5 like that. Okay, it indicates what? X coordinate. Okay, so now actually Niharika are running on which line? Actually she is running on second line, so that's why the X coordinate of Niharika become 2, and the distance covered by the Niharika in the y direction is the y coordinate, because so if you measure the distance of Niharika from the x axis, that is actually what? Y coordinate. So now the distance covered by the Niharika itself is actually what? Y coordinate. So what is the distance she covered? 1/4 of 80. 1/4 of 80. Okay, so now the next thing is, so I'm going to write down in the same sense the position of Preet as P of, and he is running on the 8th line and he has covered 1/5 of 80. Okay, so and one more thing, so now look at here, AD means in the direction from A to D, totally 100 flower pots are arranged, and the distance between two pots is actually 1 meter. Then you can understand what is the distance from that point, that is seems to be the origin to 100th pot is totally 100 meter. Okay, and now AD will become what? 100. So that's why further I'm going to write down like this: n of 2 comma 1 by 4 into 100, because AD is equal to 100, that's why. And then P of 8 comma 1 by 5 into 100. Okay, so now you can cancel 100 by 4 also and 100 by 5, then you will exactly get what are the coordinates of Niharika and Preet. It will become 2 comma, so now look at here, it goes how many times? 4 2s are 8 and 2 remains, 4 5s are 20. Okay, it goes how many times? 25 times, means she has covered how much? 25 meter actually. Okay, so the distance covered by Niharika is 25. And now here 8 as it is, and if you cancel 100 by 5, 5 2s are, okay, and 5 zeros are, it will become how much? 20. Initially I told for you Niharika covered more distance when compared to Preet. Okay, look at here, Niharika covered 25 meter, but Preet covered just 20 meter. Okay, and he is running on the second, she is running on the second line, and he is running on the 8th line. Now what is actually asked? At their position they are going to mount the flag actually, so just he is going to ask what is the distance between those two flags. So it is nothing but just if you apply the distance formula for NP, you will get what is the distance between these two flags, or between Niharika and Preet. Okay, so now I am going to write down like this: by using distance formula, by using distance formula by using distance formula. So what actually he is going to ask, what is the distance between the both flag by using by using the distance formula. The distance between both flags is given by okay, it will become what? NP is equal to square root of, okay, so this is x1 y1, x2 y2, x2 minus x1 whole square. Actually it is related to distance formula, but I don't know why it is given here. 8 minus 2 whole square plus, and then 20 minus 25 whole square. Okay, so 20 minus 25 whole square. So now the remaining is simplification. So now look at here, the first thing, 8 minus 2 means it will become what? 6 square, and then plus here 20 minus 25, it's actually minus 5 whole square. Okay, so which is equal to 6 square means 36, and then plus 5 square means 25. So now adding these two we get 50, 56, and then 61. Okay, but I think we can't simplify this one further. Square root of 61 means we can't express a 61 as a product of a perfect square, so that's why I'm going to leave here, just to write down units. Okay, so I think it is not suitable to write on the units. Okay, I'm just going to strike on this one, because now look at here, the unit is already mentioned for you. It is actually in meter. X-axis, the distance between the two lines is actually what, 1 meter, and in the y-axis also distance between the ports is actually what, 1 meter. So therefore totally the distance is actually what, mentioned in meter. So that's why I'm going to write on meter. Just if you write on here, it will be enough. Okay, so that's why the distance between Niharika and Preet, or distance between the two flags, is equal to how much? Square root of 61 61 meter. Okay, so you can write in the conclusion, therefore distance between therefore distance between distance between the two flags is square root of 61 meter. Square root of 61 meter. So now additionally there is one more question for you. So now the third person is actually what, Rashmi, and she has to place the flag between Niharika and Preet. So that's why by this we can understand what, if you join a Niharika and Preet by a line segment, the midpoint of this line segment is the place where Rashmi has to Rashmi has to mount the flag or place the flag. So that's why, to find out the position of Rashmi, where she has to mount the flag or place the flag, can be obtained by what, midpoint formula. Okay, so that's why in this entire question we are not going to use the section formula, we are going to use what, distance formula. After that I'm going to use what, the special case of section formula, that is midpoint formula. So now look at here, Rashmi has to place the flag between Niharika and Preet. Okay, Niharika and Preet. So therefore by midpoint formula, position of Rashmi is given by okay. So now I'm going to write on position of Rashmi as R. Okay, so R of, I'm going to directly apply the distance formula. Okay, if you want you can write on the formula once, after that you can substitute, or else you can write on directly also. So now look at here, I have to find out what a midpoint of line segment joining N and P, means Niharika and Preet. So that's why x1 plus x2 by 2, y1 plus y2 by 2. You can take this one as x1 y1, and if this one as x2 y2. x1 plus x2 means it will become what, 2 plus 8 divided by 2 comma, and then 25 plus 20 divided by 2, like this. Okay, so now look at here, R is equal to 8 plus 2 means it will become 10. So I'm going to do directly one step. Okay, 8 plus 2 means it will become 10. 10 by 2 means it will become 5. Means she has to run on the line fifth. Okay, fifth line, number 5. And here 20 plus 20, it will become how much, 45. Okay, 45 divided by 2 means it will become what, 45. That's why it will become 22.5. Means she has to cover 22.5 meter in the direction of AD. Okay, so this is actually the position of what, Rashmi. So therefore you can write on the conclusion, therefore Rashmi has to place the flag. Okay, keep a space here. Rashmi has to place the flag at a distance of 22.5 meter on fifth line. Okay, this completes the solution of the question number 10. Look at the question number 11. From the question number 11, it is actually related to finding the ratio. Okay, means you have to find out here m1 and m2, and here the point p of x comma y will be given to you, and a and b will be given to you, but you have to find out the ratio actually. Okay, means m1 is to m2. So now look at the first question, question number 11. Find the ratio in which the line segment joining the points minus 3 comma 10 and 6 comma minus 8 is divided by minus 1 comma 6. And now look at here, the first point minus 3 comma 10 is actually a, and 6 comma minus 8 is actually b, and the line joining these 2 points is divided by the point minus 1 comma 6. And now we have to find out what is the ratio. Now look at the solution. So the given points are already written. Okay, so this is the point a, this is the point b, and this is actually what p of x comma y. So now we have to find out what the ratio m1 is to m2. So now just look at here, the diagram is actually not necessary, but I'm going to write one for you. So now look at here, this is the point a and this is the point b, and this line segment is divided by this point actually. Okay, it may be present here p. So now we have to find out what ratio this point p divided the line segment AB. We have to find out this one, m1 is to m2. And also I told for you, while finding the ratio, I'm not going to use the formula with m1 and m2, but I'm going to use the formula with k is to 1 ratio, remember. Okay, so now the points A, B are written and P is written already. So now you have to write on one line here. Let the ratio be k is to 1. Okay, you have to consider like this. If you consider like this, then only you can find out the ratio. But if you consider it is m1 is to m2, then it will become quite complicated for you, and you can see this one in the example section. So now let the ratio becomes what, k is to 1. So now after this you have to write on the formula, section formula with k is to 1 ratio. Now we know that, okay, just write on, we know that p of x comma y is equal to, you have to write on what, k is to 1 ratio formula. So it will become what, kx2 plus x1 divided by k plus 1, and then ky2 plus y1 divided by k plus 1. Okay, so this is actually the formula. So here k is actually small letter. So now already the point p is given to you. This is 1 minus 1 comma 6, you can write down here, and x1 x2 y1 y2 are already known, x1 y1 x2 y2. So now you have to substitute all these values, and on simplification you will get what is the value of k. So now look here, p of x comma y means what, minus 1 comma 6. Just write on the coordinates minus 1 comma 6, and this is equal to, so now look at here, you have to write on k as it is. In the place of k, write on k as it is. So now look at it, kx2 means k as it is, x2 means what, 6. That's why it will become k into 6, or else you can write on 6k. Okay, and then plus x1 actually. So x1 is minus 3, so plus into minus, it will become minus, it will become minus 3 divided by, in the denominator there will be no change because k is there, that's why k plus 1. And then here k into y2 means what, it is equal to, sorry, this one, y2 means what, minus 8, k into minus 8, it will become what, minus 8k, and then plus y1 means this is 10. Okay, so it is actually positive, that's why it will become plus 10, and denominator k plus 1 as it is. Now look at here, you have to understand one more important thing. If you equate two positions, okay, so this is the position and this is also position. This is x coordinate, y coordinate. Here this is x coordinate, y coordinate. If two positions are equal, then the corresponding coordinates should be equal. Means x coordinate should be equal to x coordinate, y coordinate should be equal to y coordinate. So by this we can equate the x coordinate to x coordinate and y coordinate to y coordinate. So now look at here, first I am going to equate the x coordinate to this one, x coordinate. Here x coordinate is what, minus 1. Here x coordinate is 6k minus 3 by k plus 1. Okay, you can equate this one. This implies, I'm going to write on like this, minus 1 is equal to 6k minus 3 divided by k plus 1, and this is an equation, you can simplify this one. So cross multiply this one towards the left side. Here minus 1 is there, minus 1 of k plus 1, which is equal to 6k minus 3. And if you multiply the negative sign, it will become minus k minus 1, which is equal to 6k minus 3. Now it is better to shift k towards one side and the constant terms towards one side. I'm going to shift minus k towards the right side and minus 3 towards the left side. So now look at it. If you shift minus 3 towards the left side, it will become plus 3 and minus 1 here as it is, and here 6k as it is. And if you shift minus k towards the right side, it will become plus k. Okay, so then here 3 minus 1 means it will become 2, and here 6k plus k means it will become 7k. So now the last thing is you have to write down what is k is equal to. So now here if you cross multiply 7, it will become what? 2 by 7. So means 2 by 7 is equal to k, or k is equal to what? 2 divided by 7. So whatever the value you have got, k is equal to 2 by 7. So therefore you can immediately write down, therefore the ratio in which p divides AB is, here it is actually what? 2 by 7. So that's why ratio will become like this, 2:7. Okay, the ratio will become like this. You need to identify what is the value of k like this. If k is equal to 2 by 7, the ratio will become 2:7. If the if the value of k will become like this, 1 by 2, then ratio will become 1:2. If the k value becomes like this, 9 by 2, then ratio 9:2, like this. Okay, so it is the easiest way to write down. If you obtain the k value, then you can write down what is the ratio. Okay, so but one more important thing is, suppose if you got k is equal to 2, just k is equal to 2, then what will be the ratio? The ratio will become 2:1. So this is because roughly I'm going to write down here, k is equal to, suppose if you get 2, then it can be treated like this. It is actually 2 by 1. Then you can write down ratio is equal to 2:1 like this. Suppose if you get k is equal to 3, ratio will become what? 3:1. Suppose k is equal to 1, if you got, it will become 1:1 ratio. Ratio 1:1 means the point P will become what? A midpoint actually for the line segment AP. So now and one more thing you can ask for me, sir, what will happen if I equate 6 to this one y coordinate to y coordinate? If you equate 6 y coordinate and y coordinate 6 to this one, you will again get k is equal to 2 by 7. Definitely you can do this one, you can verify this one. If you equate 6 to this one, once again you will get k is equal to 2 by 7. So that's why it's better if you equate one coordinate, either x coordinate or y coordinate, then you will get the answer. There is no need to equate both coordinates. Okay, but your verification purpose you can do for this one only, but in the examination it is better if you equate one of the coordinate, either x coordinate or y coordinate. Okay, this completes the solution of the 11th one. Look at the question number 12. It is similar to that of the question number 11. In this question also it is given that in what ratio does the point -4, 6 divide the line segment joining the points a of -6, 10 and b of 3, -8. A and b are clearly mentioned for you, and -4, 6 is the point P, and moreover it is an NCERT example question. There is it is a solved one. Okay, there's a solution, but solve yourself and you can verify your answers with NCERT textbook. Now I will move on to the question number 13. It is like this: find the ratio in which the line segment a of 1, -5 and b of -4, 5 is divided by the x-axis. Also find the coordinates of the point of division. Okay, so now try to understand the question here. Here you need to find out what? Ratio. And the line segment is actually joining the points 1, -5 and -4, 5. Okay, so that's why a and b are very clear for you. But now look at here, it is actually divided by the x-axis actually. So the point P is not clearly mentioned for you here. It is given like this. It is divided by x-axis. Also find the coordinates of the point of division. Means you have to find out what P of x comma y, and also the ratio. You have to find out two important things here. First you have to find out what the point. Okay, now first you have to find out what a ratio. After that you have to find out the point of division actually. Okay, now look at the solution of the 13th one. I have already written the given data a and b or the 2 points. Okay, and it is divided by x-axis. It's given like this. Okay, so now for your reference, I have written the figure for you. So now look at here. The point A may be present in this quadrant. Okay, because it's positive negative, so that's why it lies here. And this is negative positive means it is present actually here. Okay, it is a rough diagram. Okay, it is not the actual diagram, it is a rough diagram. And now look at here, this line is actually divided by the x-axis actually. So this is actually x-axis. Now that's why this is the point of intersection of x-axis and line. So that this is actually the point P, and we have to find out the coordinates of this point and also the ratio in which this point divides AB actually. We have to find out this one. So before that, one thing you have to understand here. So now look at here, the point P is actually lies on what x-axis. Okay, so I think you are getting some idea. The coordinates of P are actually usually we consider as x comma y, but here there is no need to consider like x comma y, because here the point lies on the x-axis, means we can understand here it is actually of the form x comma 0. Okay, because it lies on x-axis. Okay, so that's why I'm going to do like this. Okay, so now look at here, this implies the coordinates of P be x comma 0. I'm not going to take x comma y, I'm going to take x comma 0, and ratio B, it is normally k is to 1. Okay, I'm going to choose like this. So the first thing I have to write down the section formula with k is to 1 ratio, and in the place of P you have to write on this one. This is actually P x comma 0 like this. Okay, so before that we have to write on. Okay, so we know that P of x comma y. Okay, so this is the general formula. P of x comma y is equal to kx2 plus x1 divided by k plus 1 and ky2 divided plus y1 divided by k plus 1. Okay, so this is the section formula with k is to 1 ratio. Now P of x comma y means what? P is x comma 0, so that's why I'm going to write on here x comma 0. So now here in the right side, k as it is, x1 y1 x2 y2 or clearly given to you. So this is x1 y1, this is x2 y2. So that's why k into x2 means what? Minus 4. So it will become what? Minus 4k, and plus x1 means what? It is 1. Okay, plus 1, denominator k plus 1, and then comma y2 means 5 actually. It will become 5k, and then y1 is actually what? Negative. Okay, so positive into negative, it will become negative minus 5 divided by what? K plus 1. Okay, so like this. Now the next step is very important. In the previous problem I told for you, you can equate either x coordinate or y coordinate. But here the situation is not like that, because you don't know what is the x coordinate of P. So that's why if you equate x to this one, you will not get what is the value of k, because in this equation there are two variables. Which are those? One is k is unknown. Variable means I'm going to treat like that, unknowns. Okay, here k is unknown and x is unknown. So that's why in an equation, if there are two unknowns, we can't solve that equation. So that's why I'm going to do like this. It is better if you equate y coordinate to y coordinate, because y coordinate is known for you, it's 0. So that's why I'm going to equate y coordinates. Okay, so now look at here, I'm going to write one like this. This implies 0 is equal to 5k minus 5 divided by k plus 1. Okay, so if you cross multiply k plus 1 towards the left side, here it is 0 into this one means it will become 0 is equal to 5k minus 5, and I'm going to shift minus 5 towards the left side. It will become what? Plus 5 is equal to 5k, and you can cancel 5 and 5. So now what is the remaining thing? 1 is equal to k, or k is equal to what? 1. So now can you tell me what is the ratio? So yes, definitely you are right. The ratio is actually what? 1:1, because k is equal to 1 means we can treat 1 as 1 by 1. So therefore the required ratio will become what? 1:1. Okay, so now I'm going to write on here. Therefore you can write on here x-axis divides AB in the ratio 1:1. 1:1 means I told for you. So it is actually the midpoint of what? AB. Okay, definitely it should be a midpoint. Okay, you can verify by applying the midpoint formula also. But the one more thing I have left is actually asked what? Find the coordinates of P. So now the y coordinate is already known, it is 0. Now the just what we have to find out? The x coordinate means the value of x. So now to find out the value of x, now look at here. Now I'm going to equate the x coordinate. If you equate x coordinate and x coordinate, x is equal to, you will get minus 4k plus 1 divided by k plus 1. So now look at here, you already know what is the value of k. So don't substitute ratio, don't bother about this one. So just look at here, what is the value of k? Now what we have got here, k is equal to 1. So now I'm going to replace k by 1, and on simplification you will definitely get what is the value of x. Okay, so now look at here. So now consider from this one. Okay, so now, or else you can write on, if by indicating this one, so now it is better to write on like this. Okay, by 1. So you can equate the x coordinate. X is equal to what? Minus 4k plus 1 divided by k plus 1. So, and I know the value of k, so that's why I'm going to substitute here minus 4 into 1 and then plus 1 divided by 1 plus 1. So now look at here, x is equal to minus 4 into 1 means minus 4. Minus 4 plus 1 means it will become minus 3, and then divided by 1 plus 1 means 2. So therefore you can write on the conclusion coordinates of point of division, or just it is enough if you write on P. Coordinates of P or x comma 0. Actually x means what? Minus 3/2 comma 0. Okay, like this. But you can verify this one by using the midpoint formula also. Now let us verify what will be the midpoint of AB. So just x1 plus x2 by 2, minus 4 plus 1 means what? Minus 3, minus 3/2, and look at here, 5 minus 5, 0, 0/2. 0/2 means what? 0. Here also 0. So that's why our answer is actually correct. Okay, so this completes the solution of question number 13. Look at the question number 14. Find the ratio in which the line segment joining the points A of 3, minus 3 and B of minus 2, 7 is divided by x-axis. Also find the coordinates of point of division. It is similar to that of question number 13, and you have to do this one. And the question number 15. Find the ratio in which the y-axis divides the line segment joining the points 5, minus 6 and minus 1, minus 4. Also find the point of intersection. Point of intersection is nothing but what? Just he is going to ask what are the coordinates of P. So now here the changes is the line segment is divided by y-axis. So that's why now in this problem you have to consider the coordinates of P as 0, y, because the point P lies on y-axis. If you write on the diagram, you can understood this one. Okay, so write on the diagram what similar to that of what I have written in the question number 13. Okay, write on the first rough diagram, then you can understand it is divided by y-axis actually. So then the coordinates on y-axis will be of the form what? 0, y. So now the x coordinate is 0, y coordinate is y, and it is unknown actually for you. And in this problem you have to equate the x coordinates to get the value of k, after the getting value of k, you will get what is the that is what ratio, and after that you can find out what is the value of y. And it is actually a solved question. I think I have mentioned here NCERT example. It's in the example section, and you can look at the solution, and it is also an exercise for you. Now look at the question number 16. Find the ratio in which P of 4, m divides the line segment joining the points A of 2, 3 and B of 6, minus 3. Hence find m. So now this question seems to be very similar to that of a previous one. But in the previous question, we have considered like that x, 0, 0, y like that. But here 4, m is already given to you. Okay, the x coordinate is given to you, but the y coordinate is unknown. And means by this we can understand, if we equate x coordinate to x coordinate after application of the section formula, that is case to 1 formula, if we equate x coordinate to x coordinate, we will get what is the value of k. After that we have to find out what is the value of m. Okay, so now I'm going to solve this one. Just look at the solution. Given data is already written. Given that the line segment joining the points A of 2, 3 and B of 6, minus 3 is divided by P, and whose coordinates are given like this 4, m. So now I'm going to write on the diagram is not necessary for you. Okay, so now I'm going to write on directly. We know that the same thing, section formula P of x, y is equal to kx2 plus x1 and k plus 1 comma and ky2 plus y1 divided by k plus 1. I think I forgot to write on the ratio. You have to consider like this. I'm going to write on here. Let the ratio be k is to 1. Okay, after writing this sentence only, you have to write on this formula. Okay, I have assumed the ratio is k is to 1, so that's why I have written this formula, k is to 1 ratio formula. Now P is actually what? 4, m. Okay, write on 4, m, and then x1 x2 are clearly given to you, x1 y1 x2 y2. So now look at here, it will become what? 6k plus 2. Okay, 6k plus 2 divided by k plus 1 as it is, and here y2 means what? Minus 3k, and here it is plus 3 divided by k plus 1. Okay, so now what we have to equate, actually if you equate x coordinate to x coordinate, then you will get what is the value of k. But if you equate y coordinate to y coordinate, there will be two unknown m and k. You will not get what is the value of k. So that's why equate x coordinate to x coordinate, we get like this. 4 is equal to 6k plus 2 divided by k plus 1. Okay, so now you have to cross multiply k plus 1 towards the left side. I'm going to multiply directly. 4 into k, it will become 4k, and then 4 into 1, it will become 4, and then 6k, and then plus 2. Now separate k one side and constant terms on another side. It is better to shift 4k towards the right side to make a k positive, that's why. And here write on 4, and it will become minus 2 and is equal to 6k minus 4k. Okay, 6k minus 4k. So next 4 minus 2 means it will become 2. 6k minus 4k means it will become what? 2k. Okay, so now if you cancel 2 and 2, you will get what? K is equal to 1. Once again here it will become what? The ratio here also it will become 1 is to 1. So ratio is already written. Okay, P divides AB in the ratio 1 is to 1, because we got k is equal to 1, that's why. So now the remaining thing is actually what? We have to find out m also. Okay, to find out the m, the value of k is necessary for you. I think in the problem itself, actually he is not going to ask the ratio, I think. Okay, but yes, actually he is asked the ratio. Okay, so that's why I have written, and I will move on to find out the value of m. So for this one, you have to equate m coordinate y coordinate to y coordinate. So now it is better to denote this one as 1. Now write on by 1. Okay, I'm going to write on m is equal to minus 3k plus 3 divided by k plus 1. So now we have what is the value of k. K is equal to what? 1. So that's why m is equal to minus 3 into 1 plus 3 divided by 1 plus 1, and then you can find out in the next step what is the value of m. Minus 3 into 1, it will become minus 3. Minus 3 plus 3 0. 0 by 2. 0 by 2 means it is equal to 0. So therefore, okay, the coordinates of p are the coordinates of p are the coordinates of p are what? M is 0 and x coordinate is 4, so that's why 4 comma 0. Okay, this completes the solution of question number 16. Now look at the question number 17. Determine the ratio in which the line 3x plus y minus 9 is equal to 0 divides the line segment joining the points 1 comma 3 and 2 comma 7. Now look at the solution. Now look at the solution. This problem seems to be different when compared to the previous problems. Now try to understand the question first. Line segment is actually joining what? A and B coordinates are given x1, y1, x2, y2, and it is actually divided by line actually. If you write on the diagram, then you can understand what actually it is given. So now look at here. A and B are the points, and this is actually what? A line segment. And 3x plus y minus 9 is actually what? It is a linear equation in two variables. Linear equation in two variables. If you draw this one on a Cartesian plane, it is actually what? A straight line. Okay, so now look at here, it is a straight line. So this straight line is crossing this line segment AB at this point. So this is actually the point P of x comma y. Now we have to find out the coordinates of p also, and also we have to find out what? A ratio. Okay, so in the question it is mentioned like this: determine the ratio in which the line divides the line 3x plus y minus 9 is equal to 0 divides the line segment. Okay, like that. Okay, just he is going to ask what? Ratio. Okay, now we have to find out just k. So now one important thing you have to understand here. So this point P present on AB and also on this line. If the point P lies on this line means, if you substitute the coordinates of P in this equation must be satisfied. Remember, okay, if you substitute the x and y coordinates of P in this equation must satisfy, because P lies on this line. That's fine. Okay, so this is the key concept for you to find out the value of k. So now look at here. Let initially you have to write on like this: let the ratio be k is to 1, and after that you have to write down we know that p of x comma y is equal to the formula kx2 plus x1 divided by k plus 1, and the y coordinate ky2 plus y1 divided by k plus 1. Okay, so now you have to substitute p of x comma y. It is actually, we don't know both coordinates here, so that's why I'm going to write on p of x comma y as it is. Okay, so now look at here, just it will be enough if you write on x comma y. Now look at here, x2 means what? 2. So that's why it will become what? 2k plus x1 means it is 1 divided by what? K plus 1. And the next k y2 means 7k, and then plus y1 is 3 divided by what? K plus 1. So now look at here. So if you equate these two, x is equal to what? 2k plus 1 divided by k plus 1. Y is equal to what? 7k plus 3 divided by k plus 1. And moreover, the point x comma y lies on this line. Okay, so now write on here, given that the point, it is not actually given by the figure, we can understand here. Okay, so just write on like this. Okay, by the figure, okay, p of x comma y lies on 3x plus y minus 9 is equal to 0. Okay, so therefore I'm going to continue from here. Therefore, so now what I'm going to do is, x means the point b of x comma y, we have found out the coordinates in terms of k here. So x comma y is equal to what? Like this. I'm going to substitute this in the place of x and this in the place of y of equation, a given equation 3x plus y minus 9 is equal to 0. Then we can find out what is the value of k. So now look at here 3 is there. X means here x means this is equal to 2k plus 1 by k plus 1. Okay, 2k plus 1 divided by k plus 1, and then plus y means this one. Okay, y means 7k plus 3 divided by k plus 1, and minus 9 is equal to 0. Minus 9 is equal to 0. Okay, so now take LCM. Here you have to put the bracket actually. So now take the LCM. K plus 1 is LCM. It will become what? 3 of 2k plus 1 plus 7k plus 3. Okay, so whole divided by k plus 1. Okay, k plus 1 is LCM for all the three terms, and here k plus 1 is there, so that's why we can't multiply any two numerator. So but here it will become what? 9 of, you have to multiply k plus 1 per numerator. K plus 1 is equal to 0, and in the next step I'm going to cross multiply k plus 1 towards the right side. It will become what? 0. Just the remaining thing is numerator. I'm going to multiply here 3 into 2 6k, and then plus 3, and then plus 7k, and then plus 3, and then minus 9k, and then minus 9 is equal to 0. So now you have to simplify this one. After that you will get what is the value of k. So now look at here 6k is there, 7k is there, minus 9k is there. Okay, so minus 9k. Okay, 7 plus 16 means, sorry, 7 plus 6 means it will become what? 13k. Okay, 13k, and then minus 9k, and then here 3 plus 3 it will become 6, and then minus 9 is equal to 0. Okay, 13k minus 9k means it will become 4k plus 4k, and it will become what? Minus 3 is equal to 0, like this. And then it will become like this: 4k is equal to 3, and then k is equal to what? 3 divided by 4. Okay, the value of k is 3 by 4 means the ratio will become what? 3 is to 4. Okay, ratio will become 3 is to 4. And write down the conclusion. I'm going to write down here. Therefore p divides, or just a line divides. Okay, both are one and the same. Okay, I think it is better to write on line divides AB in the ratio 3 is to 4. Okay, you have to write on 3 is to 4. If you write on 4 is to 3, it is wrong. Remember, k is equal to, we have got actually what? 3 by 4. So that's why you have to write on 3 is to 4. Okay, this completes the solution of the question number 17. So now up to here we have solved the question regarding finding ratio. Okay, here p is given for you. Okay, a and b will be given to you, and p sometimes given directly and sometimes indirectly, like that. And we have found out the ratio up to the question number 17. From the question number 18, it is actually related to geometrical figures, and they are actually quite easy. Okay, and in the next class I'm going to solve from question number 18, and I'm going to stop here, and up to question number 17 it is completed. From the next class I'm going to continue from question number 18. Thank you.